Good day everyone, welcome back to the channel. We're going to be playing another 15-minute rapid game. It's been a long time since I played and I recorded a video because my laptop is complete shit. Now we're going to play c4, the Queen's Gambit. He took, I know that is the move, it is e3 because whenever I play e4 they reply with e5 and it's not really looking good then. Here I believe we play knight f3. He's from Thailand, I believe. Thailand. We're going to take in the... Okay, so he take here. I have the opportunity to play queen takes d4, queen takes d4, knight takes d4. He doesn't have any way to defend unless he played e5, then I draw back. Then he needs to defend this pawn. So I guess we can take with the queen. I'm going to take with the queen. Wow. You can see it's lagging only because I played one move. This computer is garbage. Okay, so we take with the knight. Because obviously we don't want to have an isolated pawn in the center of the board. It's going to be really annoying to try to defend. Now this pawn is going to be loose. He cannot defend with the bishop because obviously I will take it, ruin his pawn structure and win the pawn back. He cannot play b5. His only chance is to try to play e5 to attack my knight, but I can draw back. Okay, so this move, he's not trying to defend the pawn. We will happily take it. He's going to play bishop to b4. No. So maybe he's trying to get some kind of a check, trying to get the knight here. So it makes sense to castle. It makes a lot of sense to castle. He can develop his bishop to c5 or b4. I'm going to play knight c3. Probably knight c3 was better, but I didn't want to get pinned. And also with the knight on e4, you know. It's 21-24. Magnus fake. Okay, let's see. Interesting decision to make. You're voluntarily separating your pawns. So I can play bishop to b5. He's going to lose the pawn, so he needs to play bishop d7, knight takes, bishop takes, pawn takes, the same thing. I guess it's better for me to take it, right? Yeah. I always know that isolating your pawns is not a good thing. It's never a good thing. So we're going to play knight c3. Maybe his idea now he wants to play knight d5 to attack my knight. And whenever I take, then he can, you know, he's only going to have one isolated pawn on a7. So probably his plan is to go here. And I definitely don't want him to take me. Okay. So he's just trying to attack my knight. Makes a lot of sense. He's also trying to castle. We shouldn't allow this to happen because these two pawns can do something against this pawn. So probably a simple knight e2, knight in, and just attack the bishop, gain more space, and put the bishop on b2. So knight e2 makes the most sense to me. Yeah. Yes, we're allowing the knight to get in, but the knight is not doing anything here. After knight here, we're going to play a3. He's going to attack my rook. We take his bishop, and after he takes, we have taken 2 pieces for the rook, and that's good. So now we're trying to gain space by playing a3. The bishop drops somewhere, and then we play b4. Put the bishop on b2. The rooks are connected. He got a weakness here and a weakness here. Maybe we can try to... And I think it's better for me to keep the bishop, not trade the bishops, because maybe this pawn can be targeted by my bishop and with the rook. I don't know how a guy 2100 makes this kind of weakness. It's really insane. Okay, we're going to play a3. Hopefully he goes back to a5 to allow me to play b4 to attack the bishop again. I think it's better for him to go here. Oh, I have no idea why would he play that. I'm going to play b4. He's giving me more space on the queen side, and that's going to allow me to play bishop to b2 to attack his knight and ruin his pawn structure as well. So now he's trying to go here, but we have bishop to b2. Yes, he's going to have something here, but we're going to just play g3. Nothing's going to happen there. So after knight here, g3, he's going to push the pawn to h5, then h4, which is going to attack the knight will move, and we're totally fine. Okay, really smart move, putting the bishops on a really good diagonal. I can take his knight, and he will be Not in a really good position, because the pawns are really messed up. But I guess it's better for me to play rook fd1 or rook ad1. Which one is better? I guess rook fd1 is better. Just keep the rook defending the pawn in case the bishop moved, because, you know, he might try to play a5, and whenever I take, the pawn will be loose, so it's better for me to keep the rook on a1. Now we're attacking his bishop. I don't know about this move. Bishop takes f6, pawn takes f6. That's going to allow to put the bishop there. Yes, I will have, you know, mobility with the rooks. Okay. So there are no kind of, you know, sacrifices because the rook's already defended by the other rook. I want to play this, but after f3 the pawn will become really weak. I don't want to do that. Then what do? I still have the opportunity to take here, but it's not looking good. Probably rook c1 makes a lot of sense. Rook c1 trying to target this pawn probably makes the most sense. Okay, let's go rook c1. I don't know if I should take this. Takes. I mean, if we got into an endgame, he's completely cooked. But my bishop is really strong, so he's going to have two bishops. That's really not good for us. So if I take, I will have the opportunity to push, but I cannot push further. I cannot play e4 right now. I can play knight c3 to push here and here. I cannot do that because one is not protected. I mean, f3 and e4. My bishop here is not doing much, so probably bishop d3, but then the knight will jump here. I don't know if I should take this knight or not, because he's not going to be in a really good endgame. But allowing him to have the bishop there is completely insane. I think the knight's going to be problematic. I have no idea why. See, bishop takes, pawn takes, and then we probably develop the knight. We reroute the bishop to attack the pawn. He's going to push. I guess that is the thing that I'm going for. So he takes. He doesn't have anything else, pretty much. I have knight f4 or knight d4, trying to sacrifice, takes, checks, and we take here. And he cannot take with the rook because he will lose the bishop. So that's a good thing to do, because whenever he push, he's going to be cooked after knight f4. I guess this move is good. But what if he push? If he push, we take. Bishop takes, and we take here. He takes and takes, but then he takes, check. Interesting stuff. See, after knight d4, he will have this move c5. And when I take, he takes. The pawn will be loose. This move is not good because of this push c5. So probably we play bishop b3. Bishop b3 will allow the bishop to play on a6. Knight d4, c5, pawn takes, bishop takes, knight takes. There are a lot of ways for him to win. It's not good. Also, the bishops are really strong. How about knight c3 and knight e4? Knight c3 here, he can just draw back. Bishop back is really wrong. He's going to play a move like a5. It's going to be really annoying. So probably a simple rook b1, a5, we take. His bishop is going to be attacked. I guess rook b1. He's going to play a5. It's going to be really bad to lose these two pawns. And this bishop is really strong. So we have to be careful. I want to play knight c3 and knight here, but of course he's going to put the bishop here or here to defend the pawn. I'm just trying to get to the bishop. We have to be very careful not to move this rook anywhere because it's going to lead to a sacrifice. We take it and we lose the rook. So we have to be careful of this discovery. We either move the king to h1 or we just play g3, but that's going to allow him to push on both sides. I guess it's better for him to play h5 and h4 when we play g3. I don't know if this sacrifice works with the knight, because we would be winning 2 pawns and the rook for a bishop and a knight. So 6 for 7 points. Interesting, but I don't think it's enough. Yeah, he's going for that. We're just going to push g3 whenever he does that, because with the bishop being open, it doesn't do much. I also have the opportunity to play h4. So hold on. I think I have a way to win this. h4 to freeze the pawn here, and then we're gonna play knight f3 or knight g3. Sorry, knight f4 or knight g3 to attack the pawn. Doesn't have any way to defend, so he needs to take my knight. I think it's better for me to play h4 and then g3, and then try to move the knight, put the bishop back on e2 because this pawn cannot be defended. I guess that is a smart move. Let's go for it. Yes, pretty much. I want to play this because it makes a lot of sense. Pushing the pawn is very interesting. See, I want to play knight g3. He can never defend the pawn. He's forced to take me. I will take with the pawn. If he takes me, I take back, and I want to play bishop to e2. He doesn't have any way to defend, unless after knight g3, bishop takes, pawn takes, rook takes, and then king here, bishop e2, and king there to defend the pawn. But that's going to allow my rook to get in on d7. That's insane. Should I go for the knight g3, or should I just move the knight? Knight c3, and then bishop e2. I think knight c3 is better, because he would not see bishop e2. Knight c3, what can he do? Knight c3, I guess he's just going to move the king. That's pretty much. I think I should go for it. But what about knight c3 and he push? I take and he takes, and then bishop e2. Let's go knight c3. We're going to play. I could have played knight g3 or knight f4 to attack the pawn. Probably knight g3 is better, because whenever he takes, we take back with this pawn, and then the king can go to f2, and then the bishop can go back, but then he can probably play this and this, and I just, ruin my pawn structure and isolated a really important pawn on e3. So I guess now this is a more subtle move, which is bishop to e2 to attack this pawn, and he cannot really defend it. And I'm not even sure if it's a good move to take it, because after bishop e2, probably he moves the king, I take, and there's rook to h8 to attack my bishop. I can play a move like g4 to defend my bishop. He takes and I take, and then he takes here. That's really not good, because then the rook and the bishop are going to be very strong. I don't think it's a good idea to take this pawn, unless I play g3 first. See, hold on. Bishop e2 is going to play, of course, king g7, and after g3, he can play rook h8 to defend. But that's, of course, that's going to lose him the bishop. And if you move the bishop, that's going to allow me to play rook d7. Interesting. I'm really happy that I'm making this video. Ooh. Yeah, attack my knight. So I can play a really good move, which is knight a4. He's hoping that I'm going to play something like knight a2. He's going to take, I'm going to take back, and then he's going to go bishop here, for example, to attack this pawn. Probably, but I have knight a4. He takes my rook, I take back, nothing's going to happen. And then I cannot be attacked, the pawn cannot be pushed, and I can play knight c7, and he helped me to, put the knight on a good square. Yeah, I guess this is move shit. I should not even think about it. Right? I guess so. Don't tell me he's trying to go here, because you're just helping me play the move g3. Guess he's going to play king g2, and then the rook and this pawn will be pinned. So I just have to move my king and I'll be safe. I don't think it's smart for him to take me. Why did he take me? Why are you allowing this? Why are you allowing bishop e2? How are you going to deal with this? How are you going to deal with rook to d7, attack the bishop and attack the pawn behind it? How are you going to deal with knight c5? Because after knight c5, imagine him going back. I can sacrifice and after takes bishop check, king moves, and I win this rook. This move is really serious, knight c5. He cannot even stop it. If you play the silly move like bishop f6, we don't care about the pawn. We play knight c5. Hopefully he blunders and goes back. That's going to allow me to take this, and after he takes, that's a check, and we win the rook. But what about bishop back, knight c5, bishop goes here, knight takes, and he just takes this pawn. What the F is that? Very smart move, actually. Yeah, smart move. But I guess I'm going to attack his bishop first. Hopefully he blunders that, and I'm going to take here. He's going to take. I'm going to take. He's going to play bishop here. I can go here. He takes. I take. Very interesting stuff going on. See, the problem with rook d7, there's rook to c7. See, knight c5. I don't think it's smart of him to defend it, right? I guess knight c5 is non-negotiable. But I have to be very careful. Okay, knight c5, we're allowing bishop b2 to attack the pawn chain. That's very risky. But he needs to move the bishop. If he moved the bishop back to a8, which allows us to play knight takes pawn, pawn takes bishop, and we win the rook. But after bishop back, knight takes, there is pawn takes, bishop to g3. Excuse me. Knight d7. Okay, so after knight d7, rook d8. Knight check, he can take with the bishop and he's defending the rook. So knight here, I don't think it does work. I have rook to d7. He is probably going to attack me. I'm going to take this pawn. He will take and I will take, but then this bishop here, I really hate it. Interesting stuff going on. Very interesting stuff. So how about first we play pawn takes here, bishop takes, and then we play something else. Then we play knight here, and he cannot play this because I have this check. Or after pawn takes, bishop takes, and rook here, whenever he moves the bishop, he's going to be losing this pawn. So I guess that's a better move for me. So pawn takes, rook d7, bishop here or bishop here, we take this pawn. And then probably bishop all the way back to c1, but everything's defended because the rook is defending the pawn. So pawn takes, and rook d7, bishop back, rook takes here. Seems cool, right? Because we shouldn't allow this to happen. So we take first, he's gonna take, pretty much. And then rook d7, the bishop is going to be attacked. Yeah, pretty sure. Let's play rook d7, let's attack the bishop. He does have bishop c8, but I just have takes here. I can play something else. I can play a check. Wait, so a check here. He moves the king somewhere, we don't really care. And then we're going to play bishop to a6 to attack the bishop. And once he takes, I take him. That's also a good plan. So I can win a pawn, but my rook is really oddly placed. So I guess I have a check. The king will move. And then after the king moves, I play bishop a6. He cannot attack my rook because I can just take. I guess that's a good move, right? Rook d8, king g7, bishop a6. Bishop takes, we just take. He doesn't have anything. I guess that's a better move. A better move to give the check and then win the bishop. But we still have to be very careful, because if we lose these pawns, it's going to be risky. He moved. So bishop to a6. Bishop c1, rook takes. I don't think it... No way. So bishop a6, right? Bishop a6, bishop takes just... Oh my god, you stupid... There's the bishop defending. Oh my god. Oh my god, that's very stupid. How would I ever do... Oh my god, that's stupid. So a move like g3, he should not go here because it's going to be a blunder. Oh my god, I did not see that bishop is actually defending. What a stupid move. Wow, that's insane. I do have knight d7. He takes and I take, but I don't like it. What should I do? See, move like g3. Bishop attacks me. I did not see that. So only if there was no pawn here, I could have sacrifice and take, check. There's some stuff happening. I don't know, I feel like g3 is really good. For some stupid reason. Let's go g3. Hopefully he blunders a play bishop c1. That's going to allow the bishop a6. Okay, he wants to accept. You're not a good time manager, my friend. Well, you're right about that. I think I have pressure. I have pressure on him, but I have to be very careful. It's a good thing that his rook cannot move. The rook can move here, but that's going to lose the bishop. And he cannot play bishop anywhere because he's going to lose the bishop, of course, after I take his rook. So the rook cannot move, the bishop cannot move. And his bishop should stay. I think he needs to play here. I think that's the correct move. Rook c7. But after rook c7, I play rook f8. I maintain this attack. Because whenever the bishop moves, he cannot even move the bishop. The bishop cannot move. And he needs to remove my knight in order to move his bishop. Or push this pawn. To allow his bishop some freedom. Okay, so he goes here. I have f4. Gives me more space. I don't think that's a good move. See, f4, he drops back here. I guess I have more space. f4. What do I do? The bishop is still defending the rook. f4, I'm not worried about this. f4, bishop f6, and whenever I move, there's this check. I have to move and I lose the knight. Very careful I should be. Okay, so what to do? What to do? Probably just move the dame king, king g1. Probably, that's a better move to say the least. Okay, let's go here. No need to panic. I don't know, whoa, what's going on here? Okay, king g2. For some reason, I'm getting matched against really high-rated opponents, and they really crush me in the endgame. But it seems here that my rook d8 check is a good move, because the bishop cannot move yet. But I cannot add pressure, because he can obviously just take it, and whenever I take that just a stupid trade, and opposite color bishop, it's a draw. So I don't want to get a draw. Probably then we can play f4, he goes here, and then we can move the rook, because after bishop to d4 allows me to play knight a6. He's going to lose the rook or the bishop. Interesting. So I want to play f4 because, ooh, okay, what is that? Okay. Okay. I have rook e8, but I have to be very careful. See, rook e8, he doesn't have any way to attack me. He doesn't have any checks. Oh my god, after rook e8, he's gonna push e5 to get this check. So rook here, push. Probably he's gonna play that. Probably. So what to do? If I moved rook d6, he's just gonna play rook there. But I can just attack him. See, after rook here, rook there, attack the rook moves and I can win the pawn. But I have to be very careful because the bishop here is gonna pin me. So after rook here, here, he needs to go all the way back, and after I take, he's gonna have this pin. This is insane. This is just insane. I want to keep my rook here pinning his stuff. Okay, so rook e8, pawn push, and king g1, not to fall for any kind of checks with his bishop. Makes sense, but then my rook cannot move because of his bishop. I don't think it's a smart move. I don't. Oh my goodness gracious! Bishop e7. Bishop e7. You don't want to lose the knight and open up for his rook. That's Nani. What the frick? I can just take here. You have this pin, but I just take, and after you take, I'm up a pawn. Should I go for it? Should I go for it? I think I should. Opposite color bishop, being up one pawn. I guess it's gonna be a draw. I think it's gonna be a draw. Opposite color bishop. Maybe he's smart enough to fall for that. Okay, so he's gonna play here. Pretty obvious. So after rook here, rook there, the bishop can just move. He's gonna add some pressure to the pawn, which he can, by the way. This is just insane. That's just insane. So how about I push, and then I push. Put the pawns on light squares. But hold on, after this, he's gonna move the rook here, he's gonna try to get in with some checks, but he's gonna lose the pawn. Let's go for it. We're not afraid. Yeah, just push, attack the rook moves, we try to target the pawn some way. Maybe we sacrifice one of the pawns to allow the other pawn on a6 to push. Because putting the pawns on light squares, and our opponent has a dark square bishop, is going to be good for us in the endgame because he cannot target them. The only weakness that I have is this pawn on f2, which can be targeted with the rook and the bishop, so I have to be very careful. So after rook to d7, fuck. I did not see that there's some kind of a way for him to do that. So it's kind of forced. It's kind of forced because I should not allow him to take me, because once I take back, the pawn can never push. So after I take and bishop takes, I will play something like, but then the bishop is gonna live here. Okay, so wait. Rook takes, bishop takes, king here, king there, king there. I'm gonna try to move my king, but he's gonna try to put the check here, but I can move my king somehow to push this pawn. I don't know. I think it's a win. I think it's a win. I think it's a win. But I should be very careful with the first move that I play. If bishop takes and king f3, king here. So wait. Bishop takes, king f3, king f6, king e4. He cannot get in. He's going to move his king back. I'm going to get in. There's this check. I have to move my king. I have to get my king closer, because once I push a4, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. Honestly. That sucks. But hold on. King, maybe I can move the king all the way to here, push the pawn, and push the other pawn. Why would you do that? Now that's surely losing, right? King here, king here, king here. You attack and I push. Oh, he's losing. That's losing. He was supposed to move the king. He should not allow me to get in with the king, because once the king, gets there. Interesting stuff. I have no clue what this guy is doing. I have a really good move, which is bishop to e2. But what about king here? See, king here is really good. He cannot get his king closer. Whenever he plays this, he's going to lose. I guess this move is good. To reroute from the other side. If he played this, we go here. If he played this, we play f3. He cannot push because we can just take it. So whenever he moves the king, I guess we just take. Whenever he moves the bishop, we play f3. Oh my god. Stupid. Bishop b6, f3, and bishop f2. That's really stupid. Okay, so f3, bishop f2, g4, takes, and bishop takes. Oh my god, I messed it up. I messed it up. That was not supposed to happen. Was not supposed to happen. How about f4? If he takes, I take with the king. So wait, f4, he plays this, I just take, because whenever he takes, then we're gonna have another problem with this pawn being a passer. So f4, bishop here, takes, push. Ooh, that's a good move. And my bishop can stop his pawn. That's a good move. Okay. So f4. I think it's f4. He instantly bladed. He should not take here. I have this push. And whenever he takes, then what? I hope he takes, because then I have this push. That's really silly of me. Man, I don't know how I blundered that. He should take this pawn, and I think it's a draw. That's really messed up. Really messed up. So after king takes, check, I have to move. He takes. I cannot attack him. That's really not cool. That's really not cool. So I take, check, and I go king here. He takes, and I go king here. He can obviously just drop back to defend the pawn, but I want to push, and he takes. I guess I have a chance, and then sacrifice the bishop for that pawn. I guess I have the opportunity to play that. Okay, but hold on. After this move, he takes, and I go here. Yeah. He's gonna go back here to try to defend the pawn, but I have a4, a5, and push, and he takes, and I push, make a queen, because the bishop will be blocked. And whenever he goes pushing, I just have bishop here to stop his pawn. Oh my goodness. He can play bishop c6. Oh my god. You stupid. He had bishop a6. The only move to draw, I guess, because now I have this. He blundered. He blundered, because after this push I have bishop to d6, bishop d5. In your dreams, boy. In your dreams. Push, takes, push. Well, hold on. Push, takes. Wait, push, takes here. He pushes again. He still stops the pawn. I think I should play this. Make sure that the pawn is going to be stopped. I can play king here, maybe. It doesn't work. It doesn't work because after it takes this push, he can still stop the pawn. That is stupidly ridiculous. See, push, takes, and I should not take because he's going to sacrifice his bishop, and I should not push, but then he can go. That's fucked up. Probably just get the bishop back here. That's insane. Push, takes, push, this. Why would you give me the pawn? That's very smart of you. You should not play king here because that's a blunder. Okay, so what do I do here? Push, he takes, and I push, but then he can push here. That's the thing. Let's go back with the bishop as if it's going to do anything good. That's insane. You're kidding me, right? It doesn't work because if the bishop is still there. Push here, push, and he pushes. How can I stop that push from happening? That's insane. That's some real level lucky stuff happening. Oh my god. Push, takes, push, 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 he can take it. So he probably saw that. And I cannot push here but because he can just take with the bishop. He's gonna keep his bishop there. Just play a little bit faster. He can play this even. Go fuck yourself, man. Hold on, he made a blunder. He made a blunder. Here. He made a stupid blunder. Here, take, push. Hold on, oh my goodness, bro. Push, takes, here, and he can go back. No, that's some stupid shit going on. Push, takes, here. No way. Are you kidding me? Which one is better? Takes is gonna take, I'm gonna go here, he's gonna move and I can push, but then still a draw. Here, he can just go back. Now that's some real messed up shit going on here. This guy is the luckiest player I've ever played in my life. He can go here, he can go there, he can take, I can push, he can take, and that's even losing! Son of a bitch, how stupid this is. Here, here, makes a queen, takes and takes, he moves the king, and that's... Nah, no freaking way that you can always lose a freaking draw. That's very smart. Probably I have a way. Because whenever he takes, I have to go, wait. He takes, I make a queen. He takes and I push. Which one is better? I have no clue. So here, he takes, I go here. And I have no clue. I have no... No way. No effing... Why? Why would I not go here? A check probably. Or check. Stupid game, bro. Fucking hate this game. So I can play this to attack the bishop at least. I don't know if this is a draw or what. So here, check, here. It's not a draw. It's not a fucking draw. It's losing. It's losing. It is losing. King here. Check. King here. He just moves his bishop. I move back, he gets the king closer, and I have to move. Where to go? I suck at endgame. King b2, check. King here. Probably bishop there. I have to move down, and the king gets closer, and I have to go here. So probably not king here. So what about king here? He pushes the pawn. I have to go back. The same thing. No, wait. King here push, and I have to... Wait. After he push, I go here. That is that. And I have to go there. Hold on. Here. King there. That's not a draw because I can go back. And that's checkmate with the damn bishop. And after I go here, king there, and I have to go here. Check. And I have to draw back. And that's check. Oh, fuck yourself, chess.com. This stupid endgame shit. It's lucky. I cannot. I've never seen anyone more lucky than this dude. And more shitty in endgame than me. I always do this. I always try to beat a stronger opponent in the endgame, even though I know it's not my good thing. I'm really good at maneuvering my pieces and playing it slow. But you should never get into an endgame against someone higher rated than you, because he knows more than you. That makes a lot of sense. That I cannot believe this game. That's very... For a very long time since I've played Rabbit, so it's like, yeah, I still need some time to think clearly. So we played the Queen's Gambit. We played e3, which is the move. The opening was fine here. I know that I was supposed to take the pawn at the beginning, but I didn't care. So far so good. I didn't like the fact that it's going to take me. Okay, so we attacked. We gained some space. That's good. Bishop b2, rook d1, rook c1, knight d4 here. Yeah, I wanted to play that. Probably there's some kind of a sacrifice. Probably there's something, but I really hated the move c5, and I didn't know how to reply to it, so I did not play it. We took there, still fine. We had to play knight d5, makes the most sense. I played this move to freeze the pawn, to play g3 to move the knight to bishop e2. It takes a lot of time, and he can defend it. The same move, I had to go knight d4. He played this. I had the right move with the knight. He played that. I had to take first, but I attacked his bishop. He defended, that was bad. I took, that was good. I played rook d7, which is the correct move, and please tell me that rook d8 was the correct move, because that's it. So that's my mistake. That's my mistake. I totally thought that after this check, the king will move and I can play bishop to a6 to win the bishop. But actually I can just take, because whenever I take, the rook is not free. The rook is defended. So just a trade. That's what I missed. I clearly thought that after rook d8 check, I can play bishop a6, but I cannot because the bishop is defending. I did not see that. I was supposed to take the pawn, move the dame rook, push the pawns, and win the game. Two bastards on this side. This is completely crushing. And also I can win this pawn as well, and he's completely cooked. I didn't take the pawn. I didn't take the pawn. I moved the king because I don't know. Here, I still had to maintain this kind of an annoying pin on him. Oh my god, I had rook to e8, and I had knight d7 to attack the rook. And whenever the rook, if he takes me, I can just win him. And if he moves the rook, he's going to lose the bishop. That's a lot of stuff being missed. So he played that, which is a draw. It's not a draw. Yeah. Just don't push the pawn. Just don't push the pawn. But how would I react to rook b2, bishop b2? Well, obviously there's rook a1, rook a6 to defend. But I didn't like the fact that I have to move my bishop and then it's going to get in and do some stuff. Just bishop to e2, attack the pawn. He has to defend. And maybe then we can go back with the rook. I don't know. He went to... Oh my god. Cannot believe this. Cannot believe this game. There's some kind of hope. And that is the hope. That's it. That's the move. That was the wrong move. That was the wrong move. F3 and play G4. He takes and you take back, and then you put every single pawn you have on light square. That's the move that I miss. I just needed to play F3 first before he plays that. After he played this, oh my goodness. A4 still winning? Shut up. A4 still winning? What if he takes? So there's A5. And he needs to play A4. B6. Pawn takes push and he goes here. Still the same thing. This game is nuts. I played the only move that draws the freaking game, and that is F4. I'm a genius. I'm a genius in drawing games and then losing the draw. I sometimes I like to scream in pain. I completely thought that after this pawn push, and I sacrifice one of the pawns, I can make the queen, but I did not see that he can still push the damn pawn and stop the pawn from promoting. I did not see that. And this is a draw. This is clearly a draw. How did I lose a draw? How did I lose a draw? How can you lose a... No way. No, you cannot. He clearly gave you the pawn. You had one job. One job. Just trade the pawns, trade everything, and this is the draw. And take 2 points. Take 2 points. But I was like, no, I can win this. I can win this. I can win this. I can win this. I played the correct move. He took. And I had to take the pawn. I cannot. Guys. I lost the draw. It's not like a really mysterious kind of draw. This is clearly a draw. You cannot win this. You cannot lose this. I lost the draw. I lost something you can never lose. No way. Probably I could have made a queen, and then he takes, and then I attack. He moves the bishop, and I take the pawn. What if I made a queen? So he takes. Blaking here. Oh my god. He doesn't move the bishop. Don't tell me king b5. King b5 is insane. King b5? King b5. Because whenever I take, he just defends. Right? He doesn't take, he just does defend the pawn. But what if I moved here? How is this not a draw? Yeah, that's a draw, okay. Here, I take the bishop. Okay. Oh, he pushes the pawn. He pushes the pawn. You take the pawn, he moves, and then he makes a queen. Oh my god. No. No. I never in a million years I've seen someone that is me lose a draw. You can't. You literally can't lose a draw. You can't. It just... I'm beyond being shocked right now. Nah, no way. No way. No way. No way. I lost the draw. Okay, let me see. Was there something here? No, it's completely cooked, right? Because the bishop, only if it was there. If there, that was good for me. I could have a draw. But it is on a1, that is a dark square bishop, that the bishop can help with. No. No, 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 oh, no way. No, no way. I lost a draw? It was winning, and then it was a clear draw because I messed it up. And then it was a clear draw that I can just take it and gain 2 points because I'm playing a higher opponent. And I lost a draw. No way. I cannot believe this. No, no way. How can you lose a draw? How can you lose a draw? How can someone lose a draw? It's not like it was one of these really mysterious kind of end games, like when you don't really know if it's a draw or not. But that's clearly a draw. He will never allow you to make a queen, and when he does make a queen, he will sacrifice the bishop for it. Just do that. I was like, no, I want to lose. That's insane. Nah. I have no words. I'm speechless right now. 2038. I suck. I should delete my game, right?